Grant, how you doing on a Wednesday? What's new?
I'm doing well, Phil, and for the first time in my years on the program, you forgot to call and ask if I was coming on today.
That's exactly right. My mind is not with me at times today.
You could say you took me for granted, so to speak.
Oh, my God.
Grant, we're in season form right now. This is the off season, Grant.
How many times do you use that? How many times do you use that a month, Grant? Come on, that's not the only time you've said this.
Actually, no, I've never used it. Actually, come to think of it,
NBA draft. We just were talking a little bit about Adou. What can kind of give me your synopsis? What you think? First round. It doesn't really matter, first round, second round. He's still 2-3 years out before he's really playing. But what do you think?
Well, I read a thing in Sports Illustrated about Cooper Flagg this week, and he says it's not cut and dry, but he's got to be the guy. Dallas with a 1.8% chance got him and kind of got over this horrific trade in the eyes of most Dallas Mavericks fans.
Anyway, they trade this number one overall pick. Maybe for Jaylen Brown from Boston, or would.
I wouldn't think so, Matt. I mean, I just think he's that good. He's got such a skill set. He only should now be going to college. He played up in age just to, and I know there were some key failures, but I mean,
I'm hearing a lot of Lamar Odom and Scottie Pippen, like guys that he kind of reminds people of. Who does he remind you of?
Well, he reminds kind of a smaller Bill Walton, just in the sense of always making the right play. And apparently he's really good with teammates. It makes it easy for them. And guys from Maine, how many great players from Maine in any sport can you think of? So I think that'll be the guy. And then Thiero, Calipari has this streak going of a number one draft pick for 17 consecutive years, and that's in jeopardy tonight because a lot of people think Thiero's going to be second round. I guess it's possible someone could take him in the first round. What do you guys think?
I mean, I still think that it's doable, but I kind of with Matt on this. I just wonder what that streak means to Cal because, I mean, look, I love that he does this because this is recruiting pitches. When you can point to however much money his players have made in the NBA, but there's also, I mean, it's kind of like an achievement for a coach to have a first round. Are you kidding me? 17 consecutive years? I've never heard of anything like this. I mean, that kind of streak has to mean something to a coach.
Well, he'll just start a new one, if he doesn't get it this year. But Phil, I want to ask you about the Razorbacks in baseball. Trevor Stephan is back on a rehab thing for Cleveland. You got Stanek for the Mets. You got Benintendi, and now James McCann was. This is like kind of a modern-day Crash Davis situation. He's 35 years old. He went down to the minor leagues this year with Atlanta, the Atlanta organization, and now Arizona has signed him to a contract. I don't think he played last night. They've got a catcher named Herrera hitting 184, but good for him, for being willing to go back down there and pursue what he loves at age 35 and now up to the show again.
Well, that's great. I love that for James. He's obviously just someone that loves the game. I think he'll be a coach moving forward when he's done, whenever he decides to hang it up. That I'm waiting for, though, for Arkansas baseball. And we just saw this. Chase Burns just made his major league debut. I think he struck out his first 5 batters yesterday. Christian Moore, former great outfielder for Tennessee, he's slugging it right now with the Angels. We've seen some LSU guys, get up really quickly and make a big impact very quickly as well. For all of
Caglioni's up now for Kansas City. Yeah, I mean he's hitting 190 something, but right. he is up there playing.
All these guys, and look, I just think that's part of Major League Baseball now. I think that they're moving the guys through the minors quicker, especially the really good college players. If they continue on that path that they showed in college, they get up there pretty quickly. We need another Razorback star in the major leagues. It's actually been a while since somebody cemented himself in a lineup. Heston's had a chance here and there with the Orioles, but it's, still just not, they're not having a great year either. Benny, he's kind of come back down to earth the last few years. Fletcher's struggled to stick up there. There might be some other guys I'm forgetting about, but that's kind of one thing. You've had more players drafted out of Arkansas than any program since 2017. And there are guys that stick, but we're still waiting for that next superstar from Arkansas baseball because it's been a minute.
Yeah. Well, that's underscored, Phil, by the news this week about Norm DeBryan going into the College Baseball Hall of Fame. The only other Arkansan in there, or the guy from University of Arkansas, is Jeff King. So you're right. And by the way, this is fantastic for Norm. He's going in with 18 guys. Mark McGuire's going in. Scott Boras is going in. Ray Tanner. There's a lot of good people going in with him, and it's in February in Overland Park, Kansas, and I bet a lot of his friends from Arkansas will go to that. So congratulations to Norm. Tremendous honor. But I think Viva Loy has a chance. I mean, he's got the shortstop ability. He's got the hitting ability. What do you think is his timetable for getting to the big leagues?
I guess it's who drafts him and who's in front of him. But I think the guys that get up there a little quicker are the ones that just hit home runs all over the place at first, like Caglione did, or big-time pitchers with huge arms and big velocity, like Skeens, like Burns. And I think with Viva, it'll probably take a little bit longer just because of the position he plays. And I think he'll do well. I don't think he'll be hitting 20 home runs in half a season and be forced up. The guy that I could see actually getting up quicker is Gage Wood. And it's because of the things I just said. He's got that fastball. You saw it last week. I mean, it's not like he's going to go out and strike out 19
he looks different, Phil. Like his body, the way he looks like an outside linebacker almost.
I would not be surprised at all, Grant, if the first major leaguer off this year's Razorback team is Gage Wood. And as long as he's healthy, if it doesn't happen at some point next year, like late next year.
Yeah, I think you're right about him. And I think he did himself a lot of favors by his reaction to his great game. It's like, yeah, now let me go celebrate with my friends and patting the Arkansas on the chest. And he just, he's just a base baller. And, I mean, I can surely see. I mean, how about him as a closer, going in and throwing that heat for an inning?
And that's where I think somebody like him may get up quicker exactly that, just like a closer. You're right.
I don't know if it's ever happened. Like Matt Leinart threw a touchdown pass with his first ever pass at USC. Also threw a touchdown pass his last ever pass at USC. Who was the last pitcher in college baseball history? Their last game they ever pitched was a no hitter. I mean, has it ever? I mean, just a crazy stat.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Like I don't think we've had a major leaguer do that. I guess
last college game he ever. Yeah.
Well, Babe Ruth had 3 home runs in his last game, I guess, but that's not he was a pitcher. He was a good one for a while.
What's Costner's character in Love of the Game? He threw a no-hitter in his last game ever, remember? That's the great
Hollywood, yeah.
That's right. And he fell in love with, why am I forgetting? Kelly, because she was my favorite for so long. Anyway, that's the only guy I've ever known that threw a perfect game in his last ever major league start. That's right.
I didn't see that, but was it Kelly McGillis?
No, I feel really stupid that I can't even remember
Kelly. Let me give you this before we get off here. The U.S. Senior Open is this week in Broadmoor in Colorado Springs, I think. And the tag ridings from Arkansas, Clark Dennis, are playing, and 2 other Arkansans who didn't go to the UA, but Glenn Day, and the other one is Ken Duke, of course. So 4 guys to be sort of looking for in the U.S. Senior Open.
Kelly Preston is her name. Used to be married to John Travolta. Passed away a few years ago. Yeah, and the only pitcher to ever throw a no-hitter in his last ever major league game is Billy Chappell, a.k.a. Kevin Costner. Speaking of this, so the no-hitter, Grant, remember last year, I guess it was about 11 months ago, did the show at the National Baseball Hall of Fame. My friend's the president, Josh Rawitch. He texted me last week and reminded me about it yesterday. They want my scorecard from Gage's no-hitter. I think the university is donating cleats, the cleats that Gage wore for the no-hitter to Cooperstown. Now, I've never donated. I donated all of my Traveler scorebooks to the franchise. because I wasn't going to carry all those things around. But that's the greatest game I've ever, or the greatest baseball achievement I've ever seen in person and been a part of. Grant, do I donate that to the Hall of Fame, or do I put it up on the wall and encase it in glass?
You could make a copy of it and donate it. But what I wonder is, what does Bubba Carpenter's scorecard look like?
It's the same scorebook that I have.
Loan it to him for a year. Loan it. Don't give it to him, but it should be seen for the next year or so till College World Series next year, and then you get it back. Yeah.
Put it on loan. That's right. There's going to be.
Yeah, there's an idea.
It's good. The Hall of Fame can be my own my own little pawn shop. That works pretty well. Bubba wouldn't mind me saying this too, because he even says it on the broadcast. Sometimes he writes the Razorback lineup on the opponent side and vice versa, and sometimes he writes the wrong name with the first name, like a Cam Johnson instead of a Cam Kojal. Bubba's brain works a little bit differently than mine, and again, he would say that live on the air.
Phil, I haven't talked to you since that game. I talked on the way up there Wednesday night, and everybody fixates on the 4 plays that might have gone differently in the last inning. But it was just a lot of bad luck, don't you think? I mean, a lot of it was. I've had people say, why didn't Loy try to turn the double play, and things like that. But remember, there was going to be a really tough game the next night, too, against a great rested pitcher. So, Arkansas might have been able to pull through and win that one, but it would have been against the odds.
I would have liked to find out if they could have done it. And I think there's a luck aspect to it, yes. Usually I'll say you make your own luck, but I'm not sure if that was the case. There's maybe one play in that one I could attribute to bad luck, and that was Davalon, the one that might have ended the game. It's a terrible way to end the season, Grant, but it didn't diminish really what was an amazing year for that team.
I've got them going up there 3 times in the next 5 years. That's my prediction. Arkansas.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and football season right around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From MLB, UFC to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. BetOnline. The game starts here.